Today's October 27th. We have some major developments so far. I'm just the messenger, so don't get mad at me. 2 U.S. Navy aircraft go down in South China Sea. I don't know if the news even talked about this. I don't watch the news anymore. This is a huge deal, okay? 2 U.S. Navy aircrafts went down within minutes of each other, by the way. Within minutes. So in the South China Sea, 2 U.S. Navy aircraft go down within minutes of each other. Everybody survived, everybody was rescued, but the aircraft is missing. So obviously they're not telling us what really happened. These aircraft carriers, these aircrafts are worth billions of dollars each. So the fact that they're not even trying to go find, or they say it's missing, they don't know where the aircrafts are. Yeah, so there's definitely a cover-up going on. I would probably assume that China did some sort of advanced technology attack that they can't say to the public. So I think the U.S. media is really hoping that this doesn't get noticed. Because China they just want to steal what we have. So I'm sure that they used some sort of advanced weapon, took down these aircraft, somehow stole the aircraft, or something like that. And now they're probably trying to make the same aircraft their version of it. This is what China does. They don't really make anything of their own. They just steal what other countries make and they make it their own version. Kind of like how you'll go to the store, you'll see a brand for a product, but then you'll see the store brand. That's what China does. China's the store brand. They just copy what someone else did and make it their own. This is a huge deal. If these pilots died, it probably would have been a bigger deal. But everybody was safe, apparently. I would sure like to talk to those pilots. I'm sure they have something to say. I'm sure they're being silenced or something. Because 2 U.S. Navy aircraft don't just go down in foreign territory within minutes apart. And that's it. Like, this is the end of the story. Nothing's going to happen. Is Trump even going to say anything about this? Probably not, which makes me believe that China has advanced weapons that we don't know about. And not that we don't have, but they probably also have some advanced weapons. Because how else are you going to take down 2 U.S. Navy aircraft in the South China Sea and the U.S. doesn't even retaliate? So there's something deeper going on in this story, but this is a huge deal. I have no idea if the news even talked about this, but if they didn't, they should. 2 U.S. Navy aircraft down in South China Sea within minutes of each other. That could be considered an act of war. So this is a huge deal that they're trying to cover up, which makes me believe that something else happened that we don't know about. Something else that maybe the U.S. knew. I don't know. But for whatever reason, the U.S. is not retaliating, and they haven't even made a statement on this that I'm aware of. So nothing is going to happen because of this, but I just wanted to show you. You can make up whatever you think happened, but 2 U.S. Navy aircraft down, and the U.S. does nothing about it in return. So they're obviously covering something up. And I'm sure China doesn't want people to know about this, but here we are. So I want to start off with that. This will all get forgotten, like it's already being forgotten. So yeah, hopefully you don't forget about this, because I won't. So into the main news other than that. We have Putin. So he test-fired that Yars nuclear-capable missile that we talked about. I think I did a video on that. And basically, Trump doesn't like that. This is a weird situation because Trump can say whatever he wants, but Russia can do whatever they want. The U.S. cannot really threaten Russia in any way other than militarily. They have no We don't do much business with Russia. They're already sanctioned. Like, what else can Trump do? Trump can go to these other countries and just tell them, we're not doing trade deals if you continue this war. And then they comply. You can't do that with Russia. So I'm not sure if anything's going to happen because of this, because Trump is basically saying that they're not playing games right here. We're not playing games with them. But to be fair, Russia did announce that they were going to do this, and so this isn't really a surprise. And Trump said that they have a nuclear submarine, the greatest in the world, right off their shores. See that right here. Which is true as well, but I mean, Russia could say the same thing. They could say, we're not playing games, like this is bad, don't have a nuclear sub right on our shore. So Trump and Putin are just kind of having a little spat here. This is not going to lead to anything, I believe, because Trump and Putin do respect each other, and I do believe that summit will happen. Whether it's in Budapest or wherever, doesn't really matter. But the news will probably look at this and try to say, like, oh my gosh, we're going to go to war against Russia. Russia's going to go to war against us. Nah, this is just Putin and Trump being, they're just trying to position themselves as the higher power. Because Trump is saying, don't do that. Russia's saying we can and we are. And that's about it. This isn't really going to lead to anything, I don't think. Because again, Russia did announce that they were going to test that nuclear missile. So this is not a surprise to anyone. Trump just doesn't want Russia to do anything. Because every time Russia does something, the media attacks him for it and say, why aren't you stopping them? And all this nonsense. So this is just a little back and forth between Trump and Putin. I don't think it's going to lead to anything serious. Because Russia can do whatever they want. Trump can say whatever he wants, but that's not going to change anything. So we'll see if they do another test. Who knows? But that was worth mentioning. And then here's kind of a huge story here. Zelensky declares expansion of long-range attacks on Russian oil refineries. So basically, Zelensky is saying that he's going to strike inside of Russia again. Again, we just talked about this. He did this a couple days ago, and it's a huge deal because civilians are getting affected. Not that Russia's not doing anything to Ukrainian civilians. I'm just saying Ukraine is pretty desperate, and they're pretty insane to like want to launch stuff inside of Russia when they're in a war against Russia that they're losing. I mean, I don't think that's good at all for them. The best thing Ukraine can do is surrender, give up the land they lost, still keep a portion of Ukraine, because otherwise Ukraine's not going to be a country soon. But this is a big deal because Zelensky is clearly wanting this war to go on. Obviously, Russia doesn't want them to attack inside Russia. Obviously, Trump doesn't want them to do that. But Zelensky, in case you haven't noticed, doesn't care what anyone says. He's going to do whatever he can. Thank God Trump has not given them Tomahawk missiles in the last meeting. That could change. But isn't it weird? Because Zelensky was saying they can only attack Russia with the Tomahawks, but they've already attacked inside of Russia multiple times without the Tomahawks. So that means Ukraine and Zelensky are going to attack Russia whether they have Tomahawks or not. I mean, this is just insane. Like, this makes no sense. Why would they do this? There is no right or wrong answer in war. It's only what's best. So, what's best is Ukraine surrendering so they can still have a country somewhat and build it up. I mean, if they surrender and make a peace deal with Trump, Trump will make sure that Russia doesn't do this again. Not that they would under Trump anyway. But, like, this is guaranteed safety for Ukraine. But they don't care. Zelensky would rather kill Ukraine than to save it. So that's where we're at. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys this because when Zelensky attacks Russia again, Don't be surprised. We all saw this coming. He literally said this today that he wants to plan attacks on oil refineries and other locations. It's kind of crazy how bold Zelensky is, because at first he was trying to do some false flags when he launched those missiles into Poland, and he said, oh no, it was Russia. The world quickly found out that Zelensky himself launched those missiles into Poland to try to blame on Russia. So Zelensky's bold. Like, he will do what he wants to do, regardless of what other people think, including his own citizens. So when Zelensky attacks Russia again, inside Russia again, don't be surprised. This is why Trump needs to be a little more hard on Zelensky, in my opinion, because Zelensky doesn't care what Trump says. Trump doesn't give him tomahawks, and he still attacks Russia. Could you imagine if Trump gives him tomahawks? Yeah, so basically, here we are again. It's only escalating. This war is not de-escalating. The best chance for de-escalation is a summit with Putin and Zelensky and Trump in the middle. Nobody else in the room, please. Nobody else. Because that's kind of the only option we have right now. Otherwise, we're all going to die. So that's basically where we're at right now. So Zelensky's prepping an attack inside of Russia again. Even though it's total suicide to do that. This is so annoying. I'm so tired of having to talk about this war. This should have never happened. This should have been avoided, and it could have been stopped immediately. And right now, Ukraine is not surrendering, so that's only going to drag it on longer. Just a horrible situation all around here. So yeah, there you go. Zelensky's going to attack again. So some other headlines, just want to quickly go over. Just talked about this. Trump has the nuclear submarine right off their shore. Yes, we know. Steve Hilton has taken an early lead in California's governor race. Yeah, that's great. I've seen this over and over again. A Republican, he's going to dethrone Newsom. People need to listen to me right now. California's done. California will never have a Republican governor ever again. That state is going to be overrun by illegal aliens. Like, it won't even be a state, technically. At that point, it'll be a foreign country. So Steve Hilton can do this all day. It doesn't matter, because all the tax-paying citizens are leaving California, like me, I did, and they're only going to get illegal immigrants who are going to vote Democrat. So I've seen this with a few candidates in California just over the past 10 years who try to overthrow Newsom, and they fail miserably because there's just not enough Republicans in California. There used to be more Republicans in California than any other state. But they've all left, including me. So how's a Republican going to win when all the Republicans are living in a different state? It's just not going to happen. So Steve Hilton, good luck. Obviously, I'd like you to win, but nobody on earth actually believes that a Republican can win California. It's just designed that way. And if you're in California and a Republican, that's just how it is. So I would just probably start saving money now, so that when your taxes go up and your bills go up, you'll have that savings right there. California's never going to be what it once was. And I say that because I live there. And I'm a very simple person. I really don't demand much or want much in life. And it took someone like me to leave. That's how bad it is. I don't mind paying taxes if they're useful. I don't mind paying extra in this if it's useful. California is literally unlivable. I was almost homeless by choice just because I couldn't afford rent every month. I don't know how families do that. But California's done. So Steve Hilton, good luck, but we all know what's going to happen. Anyway, Trump offered to build a White House ballroom for Obama in 2010. Yes, we've seen the clips. Even in 2016, he was talking about it, but 2010, he was talking about it as well. This is nothing new. Trump has talked about this before he even ran for any politics at all. So yeah, I don't know why this is such a big deal. The ballroom is one of the most amazing additions to the White House I've ever seen. It's definitely going to be the best addition in my lifetime. So yeah. Anyway, U.S. warships arrive in Trinidad and Tobago amid heightened tensions with Venezuela. Yes, so looking like U.S. will do something with Venezuela. It looks like they will do a strike. It'll be specifically on cartel depots or something like that. Because the U.S. would not send all these warships and B-1 bombers over there and notify their allies of an escalation if nothing's going to happen. If nothing's going to happen, they wouldn't do this. So if you've been listening to me, you know the Caribbean is very hot right now. You know, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, that's kind of taking the main media attention. But the Caribbean is hot right now, and the U.S. is definitely lined up to do something with Venezuela. Probably a first strike, something on a cartel area. So don't be surprised if the U.S. strikes Venezuela in the next, who knows, but soon, because all the pieces are already there right now as I speak. U.S. announces 4 new deals on trade, rare earths, in Southeast Asia. Yes, they made a huge rare earth deal with China. China already controls like 95% of rare earths. The U.S. is trying to cut that back, although Trump has said that the U.S. and other countries have more rare earth than what they're saying. So when you see China has 95%, it's a huge deal, but it's not 95%. It's not that much. It is a majority, but it's not a total monopoly yet because apparently, including the United States, but even other countries have more rare earth than what they're even reporting. So is it a big deal? Yes, but it's not really a big deal because China doesn't have a full monopoly over rare earths. They're trying to and they want to, but that's not the case right now, and Trump isn't going to let that happen based off the comments he's been saying. Gavin Newsom officially looking at 2028 presidential run. Yes, we know this. We all talked about this yesterday. Remember, Newsom said he was hinting at it the same day Kamala said she was too. They're probably planning a ticket together. I don't think they like each other, Newsom and Harris, even though they're from San Francisco. I mean, nobody likes either one of these people. Democrats don't even like each other. Biden and Harris hated each other. Like, hated each other. So I hope they run together, like I said yesterday. But anyway, everybody knows Newsom's going to run in 2028. He's literally in other states right now campaigning. Why isn't he in California? Yeah, he's making a run. Yeah, that's about it. Trying to see if there's anything worth noting. Flights to Los Angeles International Airport halted due to air traffic controller shortage. Yes. The air traffic controller shortage is huge due to government shutdown. Believe it or not, the government does have some programs that work well and efficient. Like, most of air traffic control is okay. They had to get rid of a lot of DEI and stuff, but there are some programs that need to be open, like air traffic control and other stuff, like SNAP benefits. The SNAP benefits are going to run out at the end of the week. Democrats aren't doing anything about it. And, there's a lot of talk about civil unrest happening and grocery stores being looted and everything. Don't be surprised if that happens. I really don't know, how big that's going to be. You'll probably see some stories here and there, but is it going to be like Black Lives Matter? I mean, the Democrats want that because it's the Podesta plan, and this is a perfect opportunity. David Rockefeller said never let a crisis go to waste. Yeah, so the Democrats might try to fire up their base to go riot once the SNAP benefits cut. So basically, if there's riots, don't be surprised. This is the Podesta plan. And if I was the Democrats and going forth with the Podesta plan, I'd probably use the SNAP benefits as a pretext. I really hope none of this happens. All the Democrats have to do is agree. They already lost their negotiations, so if there's civil unrest, don't be surprised. But if the Democrats look too bad, they will make a deal and open the government again. So we'll see. We'll see. This weekend will be a huge turning point, and we will see how the Democrat base reacts to SNAP benefits halting. I would suggest you go to the grocery store before this weekend, just in case there is some craziness happening, because they were specifically saying they're going to target grocery stores. So I'd probably go grocery shopping this week, be a little stocked up just in case you're afraid to go to the store. Can you imagine? So yeah, that's about what's going on. Russia and Ukraine still escalating. Ukraine's going to escalate it even more. U.S. is technically escalating right now with a nuclear sub off the Russian shore. Russia is escalating when they tested their nuclear missile. I mean, it's just like the worst case scenario is happening every day. The only thing that's really keeping us alive right now is that Trump is alive and that he wants peace. That's it. Nobody else is doing anything. I mean, Marco Rubio's trying, Steve Witkoff is trying, but Putin's not going to listen to them. Putin's going to listen to Trump when he's sitting in a room with Zelensky and nobody else can say anything. That's when stuff will actually happen. But like I said, Russia's in no rush, no pun intended. Like, Russia doesn't have to stop just because Trump says so. I mean, that's just how it is. But here we are. Hopefully the Russia-Ukraine does settle soon. And I hope that the SNAP benefits doesn't cause civil unrest. I'm sure in the major cities there might be something, but I'm hoping for across the nation it's not bad. So yeah, major escalation today in regards to Russia-Ukraine. The SNAP benefits thing is still going on. And don't forget about the 2 aircrafts that went down in the South China Sea. There's no way that China didn't attack us and take out those aircrafts. There's just no way. These aircrafts are billions of dollars each. Even if they were attacked, they would be notified right away, even the location. Even if the aircraft is at the bottom of the ocean right now, they have technology in there where they can at least locate where it is. And the fact that nobody's saying, like, this even happened and they're not even trying to find it makes me believe that somehow China probably stole the aircraft and it's probably in China right now and they're reverse engineering it. So something happened because this was an act of war that the U.S. isn't even acknowledging. And China's not even really acknowledging it either. So they're covering something up. What is that something? I don't know. But the U.S. just lost a few $1 billion on these aircrafts, which I'm sure Trump is not happy about. I don't even know if Trump knows about this right now. This is being covered up so well that I don't even know if Trump's advisors are telling him this. So I would like to see the president make a statement on this because this was an act of war by China. I mean, I don't know why we were in the South China Sea anyway. Maybe we violated something as well. I don't know, but it's just weird how 2 aircrafts went down in not an ally territory. And the U.S. just doesn't care. They're just willing to lose those aircrafts and lose those billions of dollars and just move on. Yeah, something's up. So we'll see if anything else happens, but that's about it for today. And yeah, see you guys next time.